Hey everybody, it's Jeremy Piven.
Hi, I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, your personal astrophysicist.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Thiessen, and you're watching the adorable, cute, funny guys.
Covino and Rich.
Covino and Rich.
Covino and Rich.
Speaking of stars,
look at him.
there's a guy walking in the studio right now with a familiar face.
Glory and renown.
With glory and renown.
Like,
Let's welcome.
like Leaping Lenny Puffa.
How's it possible? Because, like, from my understanding, I don't know this man personally yet, but we're gonna get to know him. I feel like he does a lot of stuff, right? Like
You see his
he's
face
everywhere.
all the time.
His face is everywhere.
What did I say before he walked in? And you said
You said he had a funny face.
no.
and I said that's insulting.
no. I said
Yeah,
you
that's
look
an
at his
insult.
face. He's it just maybe that is a funny face. You got a funny face, dude.
But it makes you. He
My
makes you laugh.
face made me destined for my career.
No, you're one of those guys
People
where.
just start laughing even if I don't say anything, so
Right.
I might as well be a comedian.
Let's welcome for the first time Doug Benson, everybody.
Hey.
Doug, here's why I'm confused,
Covino
man.
Rich.
I feel like you're a guy that's always out and about and doing his thing, and I'm sure you've been at Sirius XM in New York a million times.
Yeah, sure.
How have we missed this guy?
never crossed paths. We're
I don't
like
think we ever
star-crossed
did.
lovers.
Were you like? Did you not want to be on our show? all
Two
these
ships
years?
in the night.
No, nobody ever asked.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Why do you never
bullshit.
asked?
That's
Yeah,
bullshit.
Why
Well,
didn't you guys ask?
I'm happy to have you here.
Well, you're here now. Funny face.
Maybe that's why I haven't been on the show.
you
I was like,
must-
I don't want to go in there and have my face laughed at.
Well, in his defense, he did say, no, you just look at his face and know he's funny,
Yeah,
right?
there's certain people like that. Like
Right,
I don't know.
right.
Like to me, there is some people. I'm now, of course, I'm going to draw a blank, but maybe like the Chappelles of the world. Like sometimes I feel like sometimes anything Chappelle says is funny. Sometimes Jim Gaffigan could grab the mic, and I'm like, no matter what this guy's about to say, somehow I feel like I'm going to laugh.
Right.
Sebastian Maniscalco's facial expressions.
Yeah.
He just has to look at me, and I'm laughing.
The persona is strong just in their faces.
Right, and that is you.
Like
That is you.
Chappelle always looks like he's thinking of something amazing that he's about to say. Very amusing.
Well, that's a good crowd, right? Doug Benson, Chappelle.
Oh, that's
Sebastian
Gaffigan, are you kidding me?
Sebastian
Their expressions
Gaffigan.
alone and their mannerisms, you could tell immediately that they're funny. So that's a compliment.
I'm happy to be part of that lineup. They're all friends of mine. Well, I don't know Sebastian, but I know those other two dudes.
Oh, he's great.
And,
You'd like him.
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy.
Absolutely.
I interacted with him once.
Not only a funny face, and we say that with love, but a familiar face. You must get that all the time, right? From the VH1 stuff and just seeing you on TV so often that people are like, oh, you must get that a lot.
Like flight attendants and bartenders are like, hey, welcome back. And I'm like, we've never met.
Oh, that's great. You know what's crazy about that is we've talked to other people that have done a lot of those talking head things, and for all like the legit awesome work you've done, that like one day when you went into VH1 and taped a few, you would go in probably once a week or best week ever.
Mm-hmm.
Those things lived on so much because you would see that stuff and all the specials that they would do. Those things aired so much on repeat.
Yeah, I got a lot of FaceTime on VH1. Now it's all black ladies yelling at each other. But
before that was you.
Before that, it was me. VH1 is a chameleon of a network. That's been a thing that I still get people yell best week ever at me every once in a while. But, fortunately, I've got other stuff going on now, so I don't have to sit and feel sad about that show not being around.
No,
anymore.
we're going to talk about the high court and everything. Doug Benson's here.
This idea of high court just seems like you just thought of an idea that was the funniest thing in your mind, and it translated. Like I feel like this is designed for you. Like when I heard about this, I said this is perfect.
It was the smoothest getting a show off the ground process I've ever been involved with, because I just went into Comedy Central and said, what if you did like a Judge Judy show, but I was the judge? And they went, okay. Sounds good.
So these are real people.
And you floated out of the conference
cases are
room?
real. The people, the litigants are real. They're a little crazy and sometimes a little actory because they're, we pulled them all from Los Angeles, but they're all real court cases. These people all really filed with the court system to sue each other. And then when we say, hey, come on our show and let us decide it, people love to be on TV, so they say, okay.
And you're just,
and then
your
whatever
own
I
instinct?
decide.
Your own opinion.
And you could very well
It's
be
just
sitting.
me,
You could very well be sitting there high, right? I mean,
no, I am. Me and the bailiff in the deliberation room, we take big, huge bong rips.
And then
on camera, like this is all happening. This is fully transparent.
This is an amazing idea, right? But you had to have slayed it in that meeting that day, though. There must have been some moment.
No, I didn't say anything funny. I mean, of course, my face is funny, but
No, but really,
I just walked in there and went, "Hey,
Here's my idea.
let's do this," and they were like, "Okay," and then we just had to just kind of chat for a while about different things, like, like various small things that we brought to it. Like, obviously, it's the same bailiff all the time on most of the judge shows that are on TV in the daytime.
Yeah.
And in our case, we have guest bailiffs, so each episode is a different comedian doing the bailiff job.
Okay.
And like we also have each bailiff we'd tend to have for like 2 or 3 shows, and we get high during the deliberation part every time. So like when you're watching the show, if we seem really high, that was probably like the third episode that bailiff did. Because we shot like 5 a day for a few weeks.
And as judge, what's going through your mind when you're hearing these actual stories and actual cases that
I'm
need
just
to get
sitting there
resolved?
going, I am so high right now, and I have to figure this shit out. I do not know what to do. They yell at each other, and I just sit there like, whatever, dude.
Do you wear a sweet robe?
Yeah, I got the robe on, the most comfortable outfit
You got slippers
anyone
and
could have. Everybody else hosting a TV show, so wearing a tie and shit. I'm just sitting there in a robe, and we make all the bailiffs wear a bailiff uniform, which is especially sexy on the ladies.
Did you say order in the court just to be a dick?
Odor in the court.
Odor in the Odor in the court. Is that like someone farted?
But I do, I use my gavel in a real dickish way sometimes, and I also have, if they're not paying attention to the gavel, because some people will keep arguing even when I gavel them, I have an air horn.
Oh, all right.
That will make an impact. I wonder these people that actually bring their case to you.
Yeah, it's really
do they have to like
amazing?
I know nothing about the laws. Do they have to give up like some type of like rights? Like I can't refile this. They're bringing it to you to actually solve.
This is it, and we do solve. I do make a decision, and then the people are theoretically going to abide by it. I think I feel like I was always fair.
Have you regretted a decision yet? Looked back and said, "Oh fuck, I missed the whole point."
There's a couple times where I'm like, why did I give him that amount? Because I'll be like, I fined for the defendant for $705. It's like, why didn't I do $710? Because at least that's that's a dabbing reference,
right?
Why didn't I give him $420? That sort of thing,
right.
But no, I just try to really decide along with the bailiff. The bailiff always helps me, but we basically decide the case. Each episode's 15 minutes long, so it's real quick and easy to watch. You don't have to sit through more than one case at a time.
Do you get any backlash from anyone of importance saying that you're making a mockery of the judicial system?
Not
like anything
yet.
serious? No.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out starting February 27th.
Yeah.
That's so funny,
At
man.
midnight, at midnight, which isn't confusing at all.
Wait, you're on after.
At midnight's at 11:30.
That's right.
And then we're on at midnight.
At midnight.
After midnight, 11,
Right.
and we're on at 11 o'clock Central. So at midnight's on at 10:30
That'll
Central
fuck up
time.
your stoner audience even more. When
Yeah.
we're on at midnight.
Well, I say just turn on Comedy Central and leave it there.
But that's a perfect time for that type of show.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely
midnight. Let's
perfect time.
watch a case. Let's get it wrapped up quickly. Let's
and
either
it's
go to
a
bed.
real case. I love that. It must be a bit of a power trip too. Not only the fact that you just floated into this meeting and they made it happen, but the fact that you actually playing judge. That's got to be a cool sort of feeling. You sit there in the robe.
I don't like the power, to be honest with you. I'd rather not make decisions that affect people's lives. But I feel like I usually do the right thing.
When did you come up with the idea? Or how did you come up with the idea?
A dude came to me. I've had a show for a few years on YouTube called Getting Doug with High, where I sit and smoke weed with the guests. And this dude, his name's Kevin Healy. He's a TV producer who produces a lot of straightforward shows. But he came to me and the producer of my show and said, "Hey guys, what do you think of this idea, the High Court with Doug Benson?" And I fell in love with the title immediately because not only is there the obvious pun there or whatever, but the High Court, when abbreviated, is THC. So it's like could not be more perfect.
That is great.
And so he said, basically he pitched the same way that I did when I turned around and pitched it. It's just like, it's just you instead of Judge Judy.
This is great.
But I'm the one that said, well, but we're definitely, smoking weed in the show.
I was gonna say, how is the weed culture sort of change what you do? Because I feel like in the last couple of years, I mean, more people smoke weed now than cigarettes. Remember growing up, like it would be like,
of course,
everyone, kids smoke cigarettes, and maybe a couple kids smoke weed.
Cigarettes became like frowned upon, and
now
really,
now you like everyone just so admittedly smokes weed now. Even the people that back in the day would be like, I don't really talk about it. The weed culture is at a whole different level now.
Yeah, I did the documentary Super High Me like 9 years ago now, and at that time I was trying to point out the relative safety of smoking weed. Like we did lots of physical tests, and like my lungs are fine.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a cigarette smoker. I never picked that up. So, but the weird part is that with all this legalization, you think it would people would find it less shocking and be less also they say if weed is legal, then people won't be as interested in smoking it because it's the excitement of doing something illegal is what makes you do it.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's the excitement of being high is what makes me do it. And that hasn't changed with the legalization. And now there's always going to be a danger of apparently now any laws can be rolled back.
Yeah.
So there's always a danger of somebody, maybe a president, saying, "Oh, these states that have legalized it, I say no, it's not legal."
Yeah,
Take advantage. The feds could.
He's got bigger fish to fry right now, I guess, with immigration and all that. Of course, but he's trying to do a lot
with making his mark. When you when that went down, when it was legalized here on the West Coast, California, when does that go into effect?
It's in effect. You can have weed on you legally now.
But when can you buy? And when are they going to start the recreational world out here?
The recreational stores, it looks like they're going to start opening in January of 2018.
Gotcha.
So we got 1 year where you still have to have your medical card to buy it in a shop.
Gotcha.
And then the medical thing will continue. They'll both exist.
There's different worlds, right? Because there'll be totally different business models, essentially.
Absolutely. And then also, when is health insurance going to get involved? Like, when are you going to be able to get your weed because, through, cheaper because you have health insurance?
When I moved out here, I was one of the people that got swindled. I went to the boardwalk and spent way too much money to get like
He paid over $300 for his card.
What?
Yeah.
I saw this new out here, and I'm like,
now it's like $20 and you can get it online.
God damn it! I told you it's like $40. No, I went to the boardwalk and Spot went to go. Our producer Beardy went to go get a haircut, and we were in Venice, and I said, I'm going to walk down to the boardwalk, and they had the little Mr. Green Thumb, little marijuana leaf guys like, yeah, come on in, and
300 more. How much?
It's like $300.
Jesus, you got hosed.
Yeah.
Now check this out. I remember we're talking to Doug Benson.
The most expensive one I ever got was the first one I got was about 10 years ago, and I think it was $50.
God damn it!
See, I told you that. Doug Benson, the High Court. You got to check that out, guys. Wasn't a stoner comedian until 28, according to your stats here.
Oh, I got a stat on that.
But you started comedy at 22. Now here's the crazy part, man. You're 54.
What?
I had no idea.
I had no idea.
No, I really had
This is
no
the first
clue.
I'm hearing of it.
Yeah, I'm like shocked. So you've been doing comedy for a long time.
You broke your own rule.
I'm tired of this.
Your own rules. When someone's older than 40, you just say they're grown.
Don't say it. Yeah,
You're grown.
It says it here.
But in my case, it's such a miracle.
I say that as a total compliment
It's
because
so
again,
amazing.
How could your face look so funny and fresh for 54?
Yeah, you got a fresh face. Yeah, man. Weed's doing the body good. I was just shocked that you've been doing
That's
it
his
this
new
long.
campaign. Weed does a body good.
I believe me. That is again another compliment. I didn't know you were 54 years old. I thought you were like 40 something.
I think you might be like 42. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Most of the internet doesn't know. Like for the longest time, they've had the wrong birth date for me on like Wikipedia and IMDb and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like I've heard like radio stations saying it's Doug Benson's birthday today on a day that's not my birthday. For a while, IMDb thought my middle name was Robert, and I don't even know why anyone cares about anybody's middle name to even post it. But like Robert,
someone was adamant about posting it wrong.
Yeah.
Well, my question was how much has your comedy changed then from at 22 till now? Like what were we talking about back then?
From 22 to 26, I was just a struggling comic, and then I started working the road. And when I was about 28 is when the other comedians like were smoking so much weed that
you couldn't avoid it.
That got me into it.
Right.
And for years, I was like kind of a pot mooch. I only smoked when I was around people who had weed. And then eventually I was like, oh, I got to buy my own weed.
I think I was
then you grew up and
I was a pot mooch for I think honestly until like the last year or so when I actually bought it legally. I think I never
You're trying to get your money's worth out of that card you bought. Yeah.
exactly.
But some people just smoke when it's around.
Yeah,
you know?
that's sort of my
that's
vibe.
not a bad way to live, I don't think.
Hey, let me ask you this: we do love comedy. We just there's always great new specials. Netflix a great way for people to see comedy. A lot of great Showtime specials. Comedy Central obviously doing big things as always. When you started in comedy, and you were trying to allude to it, Covino, how has it changed? Meaning the content, because we always think about it went from in our lifetime went from like Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and Steve Martin, wild and crazy guy, to the observational stuff. Where have you like sort of changed your vibe throughout the years?
Yeah, because stand-up comedy used to be more of a variety thing, like with the headliners in clubs, you didn't know if you were going to get a magician, a juggler, a ventriloquist, a prop act. Now there's one ventriloquist, Jeff Dunham.
Yeah.
There's one prop guy, Carrot Top.
Yep.
There's no comedy magician anybody gives a shit about. Like, it's really it's changed to the point of, like you said, it started to become very observational, and then just very from a specific point of view. There's still some acts that'll play a guitar or a keyboard or something, and I'm a sucker for music with comedy. I think that's like cheating almost in a comedy club when somebody's got the musical talent in addition to the comedy.
Just showing off.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to go up and shove them. But yeah, there's definitely it's been a shift to like it's now it's all about the individual personalities, and I think a lot of people, it's a little sad for up and coming comics because I think people now wouldn't even go. They're less likely to go see a quote unquote amateur show.
Yeah.
Like people just go see the headliner they want to see.
Yeah.
And then maybe then they'll catch the opening acts that happen to be with them, which is
that's
good.
how the world changed, or the comedy world changed a little bit. Like in our world, it's
all
almost impossible to
star-driven
get
now.
a radio opportunity.
When we first
unless you
started,
do a
radio
podcast.
gigs were pretty available. Now it's like if you're not in satellite or terrestrial radio already, good luck. You're not going to get in. And now
Yeah,
people
right.
try to do a podcast and see if that works. It's a different world now.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you can become famous somehow and then maybe get in, but like as an unknown person, it's very difficult to break in.
Are you into the online side of things, or is that just something you have to do because of the world you live in, like Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat? Is that are you genuinely communicating with your fans through that, or you feel like that's something you just have to do now?
I don't think you have to do it. There's people that have perfectly great careers that, and probably a great sense of well-being not reading their Twitter, maybe just tweeting and not looking at the replies. But I'm just too interested in knowing what people think about what I'm doing, that I have to look at it, even though a lot of it's negative. But what was the question?
I think you answered it.
But Dane Cook figured out
How to
do it with MySpace. And then once Dane Cook did it with MySpace, MySpace pretty much died 10 seconds after it made him huge. So then when Twitter came along, especially because it's written and it's short, and I've always been pretty good at writing short jokes, I just really embraced it and kind of got lucky in that regard because I've tweeted so much for how long has Twitter been around now?
Like a couple of years, 10 years.
That I've inched my way up to getting close to like 1 million followers.
Well, dude, we're so happy to finally have met you. You're welcome back anytime. Doug Benson.
And we got to go see you tomorrow. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in a promised land.
Doug Benson.